Alrighty, we are live. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Apologies.
We're late today. Technical difficulties.
but we made it. We made it. We made it. How are you guys doing? Let me get comfortable here.
Some people online. Hi.
Hi. I say hi so that we can see who's on there and just greet you and give give you a shout out. Let me just take this out. Yeah. Okay. Well, we are excited to be on here once again. Um, to come and share our story as usual.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope that you guys can hear us. Let me just see. Hopefully, let me just double check. Uh, Mayday, Mayday.
My phone's going.
Is it coming through?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Awesome, awesome. Well, my name is Kendrick.
And I'm Rochelle.
Welcome, welcome. It's
This is
good to
another
have
one.
you guys on here. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us for this evening. Um, you must probably thought, where are these guys? Maybe are they not coming on today? I didn't put out no flyer, nothing.
No. Mhm.
Yeah, but it's been a crazy day. We just got in not so long ago, and I kind of like scrambling, and then yeah. But anyway, we are on here, and we are excited to continue
Conversation.
our conversation. Last week, yeah,
No, you can welcome.
I was put in a hot spot.
Yeah, you were put in hospital, but
Yeah, it was okay.
good things came out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Always us.
We kind of ended up talking about money. I don't know how that went. Oh man, I think that's kind of like the challenge of kind of like just jumping on here
Yeah.
and having a free flow conversation.
Yeah.
It can go anywhere. It can go anywhere. Um, but we're gonna wait for maybe a couple of people to jump on and just see. Yeah, let us know where you're joining us from, and if you are, I don't know whether you are local in the UK, whether you are somewhere in Africa, maybe somewhere in China or
Oh, baby, please.
in the Dubai, or I don't know. Just let us let us know where you're tuning in from. Is that all wishful thinking? No, it's not.
No.
But yeah, we will pick it up today. Do you remember what we're gonna
Yeah, today we're going to be sharing about overcoming conflict,
conflict?
something
Yeah.
very dear to our heart.
Is it? Why is
Yeah,
that?
because we are where we are today because we've learned to work on that a lot, isn't it?
Conflict.
It's an ongoing thing,
Yes.
but I think we're in a
it
better
is.
place because we've managed to work through a
So
lot of things.
that's the nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Dealing with conflict, but I would like to say how to fight fair.
Yeah.
How to give a good beating.
Whoa, I'm not getting no beating.
How to give and receive a good beating because you stand in your ground. Okay, not physical now. You obviously, yeah, don't get me wrong, but obviously, because I think with relationships, it's things are not always smooth, isn't
Yes,
it? There's
true.
always conflict.
Yeah,
So the issue is not conflict. The issue is how we deal with it.
that's right.
Hey, it sounds deep, doesn't it?
Not really. I'm just agreeing with you because I agree with you.
Because you agree with me. But I think that's kind of like the truth of it, isn't it? Because it doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is that you're talking about. Because as soon as a conflict is absent, which means somebody is not living out their true self, because they are
Withholding them.
they're withholding who they are, because um, just very fact that two people, say me and my wife, we are from completely different backgrounds, different upbringings, different kind of beliefs,
Yeah.
especially when you first started off, and then suddenly these two people come together.
Yeah.
Do you think there's not going to be any conflict? Of course there's going to be conflict. So conflict is not the issue. That's just my thinking. Is that your thinking?
No, I agree.
Yeah, conflict is not the issue. It is how we deal with that conflict. So that's why I'm saying it's like how to fight fair.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're not going anywhere, so we might as well let's deal with this in a proper way. Don't leave too much bruises, and let's not cause too much damage, but still get your point across.
Yeah.
And
it's not about who's been right or wrong. It's about obviously listening to each other and trying to work it through.
Yeah.
And coming with an understanding at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think sometimes the challenge is when you don't come to an understanding.
Understanding. Don't
Then
go
you'll have
there.
to come up with a solution. All right, how are we going to fix this thing? But yeah, so that's what we want to touch on
Yeah.
today. So I don't know whether you're going to have a go at it.
Well, we kind of made a list of some of the things that
That we want.
we kind of like felt like in our marriage kind of was kind of like a root of a conflict, the starting point of a conflict.
Yeah.
I know that with me, I mean, you like to say unmet expectations, which is true, because sometimes I have this expectation about something and you haven't
Yeah.
met that expectation, and then that just makes me
Yeah,
get so upset with you.
that's a huge one. Huh?
That's a big one.
That's a
That's a
big
big one. Obviously,
Let's actually pause there. Let's cover that one, because I think expectation is something that let me put it like this: there are many a times when she expect me to read her mind. You know, when somebody is like expecting you to know what they want, you know, there's a certain expectation, but that expectation has not been verbalized. Yeah. It's like, no, you should know me by now. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You should know that this is what I like. This is what I prefer. This is what I enjoy. This is who I am. I guess in a certain way, you know, to a certain extent, the certain degree that's right. But I think to some conflicts can be avoided. I think,
Yeah.
as and especially when it comes from the angle where you expect me to read your mind.
Yeah, I know what you mean. In the early days of our marriage, that was a major issue, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, when I realized that you couldn't read my mind,
Yeah.
I realized that to verbalize or vocalize what I was
mhm.
feeling and what my expectations were of you,
Mhm.
and why I'm upset because you didn't meet those expectations.
Mhm.
And then, okay, and we came to a conclusion, okay, fine, you're going to try and understand where I'm coming from, and I'm going to try and obviously bring forth the point to you.
Yeah.
Right. But over the years, you know, now it's like 23 years of marriage.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you have to read my mind, but
Should know a little bit.
you should be at a different level where, you know, as your wife, as your woman, and you should know like basically how I am. If I'm upset about something, even though you can't read my mind, sometimes it's almost like I want you to ask me, what's wrong, baby? You know, let's talk about it. And when you don't ask me and you know that I'm upset, that even makes it worse.
That makes it worse, isn't it? Yeah.
So what have we learned from that unmet expectations or lack of vocalizing how we feel?
But I think sometimes when you do that, you just want to not make it easy for me. I think
it's teaching and training, isn't it, as well?
Hey,
I can't always be giving you the answer to a problem. What's the point?
No. But why would we want to? How come? I mean, I think that's kind of like it. You know, when you expect somebody to read your mind. I think let's talk, for example, about the early days. The early days
were fun.
Well, the early days were kind of like rough, to be honest, because I remember there was one there was one night when she really made. I think we were maybe married for about a few months, and I can't even remember why we had some kind of a disagreement. I think it was like 1:00 in the morning, and I kind of like couldn't sleep, and I was so annoyed. I was so angry, and I was like, "No, man, this is you know what?
Make a point.
I'm gonna make. I was gonna make a point. You know what I went to do? I went to shave off my eyebrows. I don't know what I was expecting to achieve by doing that. But I went to shave up my eyebrows. I took all these guys, I took them off, and I think I walked into the room in the middle of the night. She's like, "What was?"
It was hysterical.
Yeah.
I think I even forgot why I was even upset with you.
Yeah.
I was like, what point were you trying to prove?
Yeah, I think I was just I needed to
vent.
I needed to vent in a way, but I didn't know why I took my eyebrows out. I think that was kind of like a bit silly, but because I had to go to work the following day. You know, I don't know whether I put some pencil marks or what happened.
I can't remember.
But I think I wasn't gifted with much of it anyway.
Yeah.
But But I think in the early days of our relationship, dealing with conflict, I think it was kind of a hit and miss, isn't
Yes,
it?
it was definitely.
It was like, all right, you are new in this thing, I am new in this thing, so how do we get through it?
Yeah.
But can you maybe remember any?
Well, no. And I remember once, I think this must have been, I think, probably about 3 or 4 years into our marriage, because I know Jordan was 2 years old. Was she 2 years old? No, she was 4 years old. So longer, maybe 5 years into our marriage, if not 6 years. And then Jordan was like 4 years old. And I remember she had like a gum infection that really got bad. And she ended up being admitted into hospital with IV antibiotics. And I think it was a very stressful week. I was working full time and you were working nights. And then we were trying to balance the two children. And then there was some misunderstanding. I cannot remember what it was. And I was trying to obviously talk to you, but I think you were very tired and exhausted as well. Because I was like staying in the hospital with her, going to work afterwards. And you just weren't listening to me. And I didn't open the door while you were driving. I was like, I'm going to jump out of this car right now if you listen to me.
I remember that. Oh,
remember
man,
that?
you know when you make your misses, now that's another level there. When because let me put it like this: when I'm annoyed,
You just clam up.
I just withdraw.
Yeah.
I withdraw. I pull into myself because I feel like, no, man, why are we even fighting? And sometimes you feel like you're the one that is right. And I remember because it was so early in our marriage, Rochelle still used to kind of like try to get me to, because she's the talk. She
I'm
talks.
a talker.
I mean, she can talk whole day.
Yeah, true.
No, she can talk whole day. And like when there is some kind of a conflict, what she wants to do is like, let's talk about it. I said, no, for me, it's like, I need to just leave me alone. I need to go and think about this because I feel like I need to come up with an answer. I need to come up with some kind of an explanation because or an excuse, maybe or an excuse, because maybe I'm in the wrong and I need to justify. And I remember she was so angry on that day, and I was driving. And she opened the door. I don't want to be in this car. She opened the door. She want to jump out of the car. I said, I imagine what, I don't know whether it's just us, but I think that was quite early in our marriage.
We were quite young and immature, very emotional, very controlled by emotions, and very like like, I don't know. I think we're still learning to understand each other. Our differences and
But that kind of made me think, It kind of made me think, because when you can drive somebody to the edge where they even want to risk their life to get out of your presence.
I don't think I meant it. There's no way you're gonna. Maybe trying to prove a point to get your attention.
Maybe just a
scare tactic.
Yeah. But conflict is real. And I think the title we've put is how to overcome conflict. But my honest opinion, I don't think you can overcome conflict. Because conflict is ever present, because just because you are individuals, just because you are people with different opinions. Obviously, as time goes, you kind of like grow, grow a little bit closer, and understand each other's thinking and reasoning, and but I don't think you overcome it. Like, oh, sweet Jesus, no more conflict.
No.
This is no. I don't think
different levels. I think as you get older and more deeper into relationship, isn't it? But you handle it differently as well, because there's no like that immature, I'm gonna jump out of a car, or like or raise your voice to something. Because one thing I've realized, that if you ever, you never actually raise your voice. You actually very calm. I know that when I get emotional, I kind of like raise my voice.
It kind of like, she said something very important now there, and I think it's something that I know about myself. Because sometimes we will have a misunderstanding, and she would be like, like way up there. I'm talking about
way up there.
And like, kind of like the voice is up there.
I'm annoyed.
You're really annoyed, and it's like, so you're expecting me to respond. But I'm not responding.
Oh, that's bad. I said, do you value your life?
I'm not responding. I'm like, for example, maybe if we are driving, I'm just kind of like
keeping quiet, focusing on the road.
I just agree with whatever she says. whatever it is that she's saying. Now, maybe she might know this, or maybe she might not know this. But the reason why I do that, because sometimes if somebody is having a go at you, sometimes it's better for me to keep quiet, because sometimes I understand. I've come to learn and understand that the way my wife is, she will say things that she does not mean. And there's
one of the sponsors,
that's the hard part, because she will say all of this nasty stuff.
Nasty stuff. Okay.
Yeah, let's just put it as it is. Yeah, because sometimes you would, because she wants a response. She wants a response from.
Shake you a little bit.
But I'm not budging.
You are one of those people. You are very mindful of your words. You have very good self-control in that sense.
I'm not budging. Then I would. And the thing is, and the danger part is, okay, we need to fix this one. Yeah, we need to try. Not because when I'm operating heavy vehicle. When I'm operating heavy equipment, and you look at the side of the road there, but if I go in there, then everything will just stop.
I don't even joke about that.
I know. Yeah. That's why kind of like sometimes it's just good just to kind of, okay, let's just pull off maybe on the side of the road and let her just vent. But I think sometimes it's good just to for somebody, because I think it's more dangerous for me to speak out of anger, because I maybe at the time I'm also angry, and I also just want to, woman, who are you talking to? You're
scared to raise your
hand. Oh my goodness! And I think that will even make things worse. Even though I understand she wants a response, she wants me to say something, but I'm just kind of like just keeping it, because I know 95% of the stuff that you're saying, she does not mean.
I just want to invoke a response from you.
Yeah.
Like I put something down here, like when I was making some notes about just us in general, and I wrote there, we need to be very mindful of our words. And under that, I wrote like we have to be very considerate about our tone that we speak, because I know if you raise your voice to me, it's like not good at all for you. Yeah,
I know.
So that's why I respect it so much when I am a bit annoyed and upset and kind of raise my voice, because women are very emotional beings, isn't it? I do appreciate the fact that you actually are much more calm. It actually calms me down. It makes me think, did I imagine this kind of scenario in my brain? Because I actually can't even be annoyed or angry with you, and then we start to laugh about it. I'm like, why are we even arguing?
Yeah.
Why am I'm the one arguing with you? Do you know what I mean? Because I like to talk things too. I don't like to keep things in. I always say better out than in. Do you know what I mean?
And you know what? We did, and it brings us back to expectation.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's kind of like one of the main things, because just kind of like think back, many of the fights or the misunderstandings or the conflicts that we kind of like been having whenever is because she had a certain expectation.
Yeah. I think,
it's a certain, and it's like, how can you not know that this is what I want?
And it normally happens like when it's a busy week and you've been working really hard, you're trying to balance, like work has been really hectic for me, as you know, and then you also have to catch up with your work after hours, and then the kids, obviously a very active life the children have, and you're always shuffling them around, and then we have like quiet time, me and you, and then I'll find you like maybe on the phone scrolling through a TikTok or something,
and then it seems like I'm doing this the whole day.
Like, oh my God, this is me time with you, like just get the phones away, and then I'll just sit there and I won't say anything, and then you won't even notice, and then we'll say, oh, let's put a movie on, babe, I'm already annoyed with you. And it's like simple things now. I think after 23 years of marriage, it's like simple things, because we learn to talk. One of the things we've learned to do is talk, communicate.
I'm still working on that.
It is an ongoing thing, and it's never going to be like we've mastered it. We talk, we communicate, we laugh. That's what I love about us is that we are always joking and laughing. The kids find it hysterical. They find it absolutely hysterical watching us. I know one day Ashley said to me, Mom, Dad, do you ever argue or fight? Why is it Daddy's always annoying you and then he's always laughing at you? And it's like, I get annoyed with you because you try to wind me up, but it's always in a jokey way. And Ashley was like, I don't understand you, because when I come in the room, you're always laughing after a while.
I think let me I saw Danny just put something you're welcome, sir. We're welcome. I know conflict is something that I know, for some people might say, no, we don't have no conflict. No, man, we are walking with Jesus, bro. No. No, we know conflict is present all the time.
Real.
It's real. Yeah, it's real. And I think it's worth having the conversation, and just from our perspective, because obviously every couple handle their conflict and their misunderstandings in different ways. So we kind of like just sharing our experience.
Our experience, it's our points of view, isn't it? Yeah. And like I said, baby, when you talk about being mindful of words, like I also wrote over the active listening, because I want to know that you're actually listening to me. And I always say that. So I like eye contact with you. And you like to go, mm-mm. And I was like, no, look at me when I'm talking to you. Yeah. So active listening, I find that very, very important. And it's not about blame shifting as well, because I don't like to say I want to blame you for the problem or vice versa. It's like never. As soon as we start talking about what happened last week or the week, but you were on the phone also, like, oh, that just adds more.
Yeah, don't bring things from last. And then, don't bring things from last week into the picture.
And I think respect is very important. Respect goes a long way. I know that I respect you a lot. You respect me a lot, and we always just try to have like not lose control.
Yeah.
And we don't lose control, because the tone of the conversation is very kind of mellow. I know I get emotional because I'm like really trying to stress my point, and my feelings sometimes get hurt, and I'm like, okay, you don't understand. I've had really a tough weekend. All I want to do is just spend some time with you. All I want to do is just make me feel like I am the center of your attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you've been so busy as well. And then you say to me, babe, so this is what I was doing the old day, and I never got to just, and I was sitting with you, but somebody texted me and I had to respond. And
but you know when that comes. But you know when I kind of like throw that at her, then we say, no, then your priorities they are messed up, because you were not supposed to do that. All of the stuff that you want to do now, you were supposed to do it earlier when I was not around, maybe when I was at work. And
the different rules apply to me than to you.
And I'm like,
but you have to have a grace when you're married, isn't it?
Yeah.
But women are delicate creatures.
Yeah,
isn't it? Be like petals, flowers.
But I think when it comes to conflict, when you learn how to fight fair, because if you know you're not going anywhere.
Oh, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck with me. You're stuck with me forever.
If both of you know we're not going anywhere, so it's kind of like, all right, we are fighting right now, but we have to resolve this issue right now. So, but now you can't come up. She's annoyed, I'm annoyed, and
what happened? We don't.
And there's kind of like there's no resolution to this whole thing. And then sometimes what I would say, listen here, baby, I know that the communication is not flowing properly right now. What I would suggest us doing,
he's not going to say that.
Let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs, and I lay hands on you.
Don't.
And you lay hands on me, and we kind of like, then you can communicate a little bit better. Am I right? So I know you might have some all kind of names for that. Some people would say it's
let's just say nothing.
No, but that's truth, isn't it? Because the thing is, sometimes you can't come to a solution to this whole thing. So maybe I know what we can do. Or even in the heat of the fight, maybe you just want to touch the leg just to, this is how it feels. This is how it feels. You know what? I'm not really angry with you, but you see, let's just fix this, and you get the job done. Just a quick laying on of hands, and after that you can't even remember why you were fighting. Why? Because now you have reconciled in a proper way, and you can kind of like move on. And then you can't even remember, all right, what was the conflict all about? Some of you might be thinking, Kendrick, I don't know whether there's a proper way of doing it. I'm not saying it's the proper way of doing it. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying this. And maybe did anybody get what I was saying? Anybody? So what I basically was saying, when we can't get to the point, if you can't get a solution to we can't get
Just go ahead, Annie.
We can't get a solution to this conflict at that specific time. So let's go upstairs. Let's do you want me to say it the proper way? let's have some makeup sex, baby. Let's have some. I said it. I said it. Oh man, let's just go for it. And then after that, what were we fighting about? You can't even remember because now you're hugging, you're cuddling, and everything is because all of this was just it was just a petty stuff, isn't it? She's uncomfortable with me just putting it like, but there's the reality of it. There's the reality of it where uh, conflict. I think conflict is good because you learn to understand how your partner fights, what makes her happy, what the boundaries are, how far can you push her, how far can you push him, and at the end of the day. Especially like I was saying earlier, if you know nobody's going anywhere, you might as well just get over and done with it, and if you can't find I know somebody might be thinking, so where does the prayer come in? Where does the prayer come in?
You're asking questions. You will answer, baby.
No, I'm asking. No. So I think somebody is thinking. So when are you? Some things here are not solved with prayer. It's solved with communicating, and understanding. We know that Jesus are in the midst. We know the Holy Ghost are in the midst. But we need to make sure that we get this thing. We talk.
Yeah.
I think the little one, she just woke up there. Do you want me to go and
I'll sort out in a second.
you sort it out in a second. Yeah. But I don't know what do you guys have any comments there that you want to throw out? Please go for it. But I think when we talk about conflict, I think you put a couple of things also. You're gonna get it up there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. She fell asleep whilst we were on our way from church, so she's very tired. But yeah, guys, that's kind of like the challenge that not the challenge, but that's how we've been kind of like dealing with it. We would just try to talk it through, because conflict is something that is always present. Not always, but it's not, you can't really overcome it. You just need to learn how to deal with it, and kind of like grow within yourself so that you okay. So that you can grow within your relationship. Yeah, come sit down. Because you leaving now make me feel like I'm lost. It make me feel like I'm lost. But I don't know if there's anything else that we wanted to say on this. I think that was kind of like the main thing, isn't it? And I think it's not even so much about us giving you guys a way. I want to say a way out, but kind of like let me see. There's a couple of comments. Hey, Mr. Pikiti, thank you so much. Thank you for joining, sir. Excellent conversation. I'm glad it's helpful, my friend. Good said. Also, here from Danny. Let's see. Yeah, I'm also learning towards not raising my voice as a means of control. Hey, sir. That's the one. Eh? I think sometimes raising your voice, you feel like you will be, your voice will carry more weight. You will be, maybe because maybe you feel like you're not being heard, or maybe you want to dominate the conversation. And I think we deal with conflict in different ways. And I think we learn as couples. We learn. You need to find out how you guys fight.
Yeah.
I know it might sound, but does it sound?
No, it doesn't.
No.
I mean, you know how I respond, and I know you respond.
Yeah.
And as the years have progressed, I think I've learned to read you more so. I mean, you still like sometimes go into your shell, but it's like you're processing all the information in your mind.
Yeah.
So now I've learned to be patient. I give you a few hours or a day, and then if you don't come back to me, then it's like
Yeah,
I
I
get
think that's
lazy.
just the way I deal with things. And I think I know it annoys her if I when I just kind of like go into my shell and it's like, listen, yeah, I just keep quiet because I know if I say what's on my mind now,
Mm-hmm.
it will cause more damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll rather keep quiet and I'll rather just go, maybe go for a drive or go for a walk, or just go into the office and I would just.
But that's worse for me when you go to the
Hey,
office.
no, the office is
Don't
worse.
go to the office. That makes it worse.
I think the office
Because
is worse.
you're prioritizing your work over me, and that
Yeah,
makes me very
I think
upset.
when uh, uh, there's kind of like a love and hate relationship with the office because it seems like I'm spending more time with other people in the office, whether I'm online or whether it's on a call or whatever, or maybe doing what I need to do for work. And it's like, you were in the office the whole day. No, baby, I've just been in there for 10 minutes.
Or like for example, like you were saying earlier, let me give you an example.
Yeah,
Like you're
go
saying
on.
something, I could say like hurtful things to get a response. Like
Yeah,
one of the things
yeah,
I'll say to you, oh, you got to your office, are you on a hot date? One of the
yeah,
things I'll say to you, or the other thing
yeah.
is like, oh, are you with the other Mrs. Jonas when you're on your phone? And oh,
The other
is
Mrs.
other
Jonas.
Mrs. Jonas like when you're on your phone? Like I'll just, and you look at me like, what are you saying? I said, because obviously spending time with somebody else other than your wife,
Yeah.
who actually like really wants to spend time with you right now. And then we'll have silly misunderstandings like that, and then we'll talk you through. I mean, honey, I did make some points over here, like
Let me just.
oh,
This is a very Danny. I'm gonna put this now here. Let me see. Danny is asking, do you ever apologize first, Kenny, even though you know you are not the one in the wrong? Can I be just honest with you? It's very hard for me to apologize, even if I'm in the wrong. Because of I think it's just because of the way my character is. I find it. Hey, Jesus is Lord. She's the more mature one. No, I'm being really honest. She's the more mature one. She would like, you know what? I know we can't be walking around in the house like this the whole day. When you're ready to come and talk, then come and talk to me. Then I'll be like, I'm not coming to talk. I'm not gonna come and talk to you. You need to, because sometimes I'm in the wrong, yeah, and I know that I need to be the one that, but because of pride, sometimes,
yeah.
because of pride, and I feel like you should understand how. Okay, let me put it like this, just to answer your question. Most of the time, she's the one that apologizes. As even whether I'm in the wrong or whether she's in the wrong. Yeah, but there are times that I apologize, but it's hard because.
I don't agree with that actually.
No.
No, because I've made you apologize.
Yeah,
So basically, the way it's called reverse psychology, isn't it?
Okay, go on, yeah.
So like obviously you are right, because I don't like this time that you take to yourself
Yeah,
to try
yeah.
and figure things out. It's a simple thing. I'm upset about something. We
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah,
And then even when I talk about you just can't see the point I'm getting, because obviously you're so overwhelmed with work and getting things done, and then you can't see my point. So you're clouded by that fact. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna have to be, the big person yet. So we'll say
Yeah.
like we'll say now because the kids that are older, like we'll say, Jaden, listen, Daddy and I are going out to the pub just to have like a quick drink, and that's something we've worked on. That's really
yeah. That has always worked for us.
Yeah.
Is instead of just, because I think when you change the atmosphere,
Yeah.
if you change the environment, which mean what I mean by this is when you say, all right, you are still angry, you are still annoyed, and you are still like, I don't want to talk to you, but you rather say, all right, let's go for a drive, let's go for a cup of coffee. So when you actually remove yourself from the home environment where all the fighting has been taking place, and you go and have a cup of coffee, it's almost like it instantly changes.
And then you say sorry, and I say, but it's fine. It's too late now. I've released you from that. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's like even even when I say I'm sorry, it's almost like my sorry it's almost like kind of like it just.
But the thing is, you don't say sorry. You kind of explain, because I can see the conversation we'll have is, okay, babe, you know what, I realize, okay, fine, I have been a bit absent-minded and not focusing on doing what I was telling you to do, or whatever. And then you say, like, I'm really sorry. I said, it's fine. You've said what you said. I hear what you're saying, but I actually don't need you to say sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit I wanted you just to understand the point and why I'm upset.
Yeah.
And then it's like water over ducks back. We don't really talk about the game. We just get on and
But that question that you've asked, Danny, is really important, because at the end of the day, somebody has to be the mature one. Somebody's going to have to swallow that pearl and say, like, all right, I'm going to say sorry, and the other one now have to also now swallow his pride and say, all right, you are forgiven, even though it's not even if it's not even up for me to forgive, because I'm the one that's in the wrong, isn't it?
I mean, it's worked for us. I mean, all these years. I mean,
yeah.
that's the way we. I mean, I what I love about us is that we laugh a lot. We laugh. We don't make a joke out of the things we go to, but we do laugh a lot. And sometimes
I think
what I may seem like over serious about, you kind of bring me more down to reality and say, babes, it's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to laugh about it, because I do get stressed out for little things. And sometimes it almost like, so I want you to kind of join me on the stressful wagon as well. And it's like, babes, I'm not going to stress out about that. And I know you're upset about it, but there's nothing we can do about it. And then we'll talk about it. And then obviously I have to somehow see your point of view. And then we always laugh about it. I get a bit annoyed with you sometimes, because you show me these weird videos and you try to make me laugh. And to a point where it never used to work, but now I do love a good laugh.
I think humor is a very good
important thing.
It's a good thing to use, because laughter, I think sometimes I even take it overboard and I kind of like annoy her.
Yes, you do.
I'm somebody, I really believe that when you laugh, laughter has you can, it's very hard to feel depressed when you even push yourself towards laughing, because when you engage in laughing, something happens around you and also on the inside of you.
It's contagious.
So
as well,
and it's contagious, exactly. So, and I think even more so when you laugh at yourself. I'm telling you, try it. It is very very therapeutic. That's the word. I would apologize purely because I am not willing. Let me just put as another one. Let's do Danny. I would apologize purely because I am not willing to have the misunderstanding linger for days. So you don't really mean it. No, I hear you, sir. I hear you, and I think you're not the only one. But because sometimes it's about keeping the peace, because you're not going anywhere. She knows she's not going anywhere, so somebody's gonna say, all right, I know we have not resolved this issue, but and sometimes the person just wants to hear that you are sorry, and sometimes you don't even know.
But I know when the sorry is genuine and when it's not as well.
Yeah, I know.
So we have to, but I love to talk about it, but you know me, I love to talk about it. And what I think the way we've worked it out over the years is that you have learned to become a very good listener, because I am the talker. That's one of the things. Yeah.
Let me talk about this. You say I've learned to become a very good listener, because I kind of like do. Excuse me. I do like this kind of training and coaching and stuff like that. And you always would bring it up. Sometimes you say, when we're in certain kind of meetings, the way that you pay attention when somebody else is talking. You hang on to every little word on what they are saying. But how come you're not doing that when I'm talking? Because that's kind of like work. Because now you're an active listener. You're like, yeah, yes, sir, yeah, that's that. You're an active listener. But now, for example, when she's talking, I would be like, and the response is not the same. And I think that's something that really annoys her, because I'm just saying that because you were saying that I'm a very good listener. I think it depends on the topic, number one. I think if the topic is boring and it's like something that is kind of like I'm not really interested in, I find it very hard to engage. And I would do like you're doing now.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
You are listening. Yeah, oh my goodness! But guys,
can we just go over those points? Baby?
What points?
Like
baby?
I made these points, and I thought this was quite good because
what's that?
We talk about like unmet.
Shall I take it and you?
No, it's fine. We were talking about unmet expectations being one of the main things that we kind of like seem to have a bit of misunderstandings
So
about.
what?
And then obviously finances, and there's like lots of examples we can give about that, where we've actually had like disagreements about that, and it's normally because
Okay, I didn't
something
even know you
happens.
put this down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you not know? I was showing you. And then children, like with the kids, sometimes we have
Yeah.
a misunderstanding, especially
Yeah.
like with the girls, like with the older girls, like I want to do certain things for them, and you're like, no, they're big enough, and we'll have like silly
Oh yeah,
disagreements about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then obviously at that topic you talk about, that's your specialty. And then obviously priorities not being right. For example, like I have an expectation, especially when it's our time. I want you to be our time. I don't want you to be distracted, and vice versa,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then obviously communication, uh, because obviously that's one of the very very important things about us, just being open and talking about it. I don't want to be ignored. If I'm upset about
Yeah.
something, I want you to
It's
acknowledge I'm upset. For
yeah,
example, if I'm upset and I'm in a mood, this is one of
yeah.
the things, and I don't know about other ladies out there, but if I'm in a mood, I expect my husband to identify that
Mhm.
and come to me and say, baby, why are you why are you what's up with you?
Yeah.
Not say to me like 5 hours later, I knew you were in a mood, I just decided to avoid you. That really is like,
Yeah.
I said to you once, I remember you said to me that, I said, do you value your life? And then we started to laugh, because it's true. Because sometimes I know that you're busy and you're distracted, and I've been waiting and waiting for my turn to
Mhm.
get your attention, and then you just keep on doing other things and get distracted. And then I just lie down on the couch, I get on and I just get on my phone and I start pacing on my phone, and then I'm trying to get your attention, but
Yeah.
you're still busy doing your thing. And then when you finish doing whatever your work stuff, you come in the office and say, "Oh, babes, let's watch a movie." I'm not
But
in the
this,
mood
but
to watch a
and
movie.
it's all just
It's just
misunderstanding.
silly misunderstandings. It's like, we just need to communicate.
Yeah,
And I guess you, to a certain extent, you're right. You can't read my mind, but I do believe
yeah,
that as a man,
yeah.
and if you really love your wife and you really respect your wife and
And
you've
you
been with your wife for
value
a
your
long
life.
time and you value your life, that if you see, it's like if your child is moody and upset, you ask your baby, "What's wrong, baby?" So why not apply the same kind of rules?
But
Do you
can
know what
I
I mean?
can I
It's like
can
they say
I
to
can
me.
I can I say something
Yes,
on that?
baby.
Sometimes I feel that's just. I'm just being honest.
Go for it.
Uh, Sometimes you don't feel like pandering after somebody.
I get that.
No,
I get that, but you must also understand
I'm
the
being
way.
serious, because it's almost like, it's almost like you get into a certain mood,
Mhm.
because maybe you just want attention. No, maybe
No,
it
no,
doesn't
I
sound. It
understand.
doesn't sound.
No, I
I don't want
understand where
to
you're
just.
coming from.
Yeah,
No, no, I
yeah,
understand where you're coming. But
yeah,
like with me and where we are in our marriage,
yeah, yeah,
and the level of the state of our marriage,
yeah,
you know that I don't do that for attention.
yeah,
I do
yeah,
it to make a point, because right now where we are, it's like if we've had a long week
yeah,
and we need me time together, and you
yeah,
said to me, Rosh, this is what we're gonna do from this time to this time,
yeah,
and next week, say, oh, I'm just doing this, and then what you tend to do is, well, this is what I love about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being very genuine about me and Ken, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can see me lying on the couch. I'm actually waiting for him. This is one of the misunderstandings we tend to have.
Yeah, go on,
at this
go on.
season in our marriage. It's like I'll be like waiting for him. It's Saturday, and it's like, we haven't really planned anything. We've done everything for the kids. And Ken's like, "Oh, Rush, I'm gonna be busy in the office from this time to that time, and then you just sort yourself out. And then afterwards, it's gonna be me and you. We're gonna watch a movie together. I am not asking to go out for a 5-course meal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not asking to send me for a manicure, pedicure, massage.
Yes,
I'm just want to sit with you on the couch
Mhm.
and watch a movie that we both are gonna enjoy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you come there, you stick your head in, you say, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." In my mind, I'm thinking I am fine because I'm actually waiting for you. So you go back into your office and I think, okay, no, she's fine. She's lying on the couch, she's watching something on her phone. Oh, she's distracted. Let me continue what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And now it's like 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, how movie time was like supposed to be at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you're guilty of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I know.
you kind of milk
But
it.
but I think where I'm guilty is sometimes I kind of like get delayed in what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and then I would just come and I feel like when I at least come and stick my head through the door, and I just are you okay? Is like I'm not ignoring her.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just doing it for my own sake.
Yes.
It's not so much to the fact that I'm really like concerned. I think I should be more considerate and say like, all right, baby, I'm running a little bit late on what I was doing. Can you give me another 30 minutes or whatever? I know we're supposed to watch the movie, but I know yours Netflix, you kind of like just start watching it anytime. But I think it's that communication part of it. And these things, and that's kind of because right now, as we are talking, we are basically reflecting on the things that we kind of like doing.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we used to do many years ago, but there are some of the stuff that we are even kind of presently doing now, and that's why this kind of conversation is even helping us. And I believe it is even strengthening our relationship, because there are certain things that you won't talk about, which is actually because there's some stuff that came up here now that's like, that's interesting. I think there's something that when we're saying when you actually leave your environment, that's something that just came like, that's how we actually been doing it all this time, but I was never really aware of it. We managed to resolve conflict when we actually pull ourselves away from the house environment, and we actually go out. Then it's easier for us to resolve that conflict.
And I think also transparency in the home as well. Like obviously our children are at different ages. If many of you know us, we've got like teenagers, and we've got like, a preteen, and we've got like obviously Shiloh is like 5 years old, but the kids know when mommy is upset with daddy. And it's like, I think you get to a stage where you can't really pretend as well at home, because like our journey and our relationship right now, like sometimes like Jane will say to you that it's like, Dad, I think you need to go take mommy out for a drink. I'll watch the kids. You guys need to go and talk, because mom is a bit annoyed with you. It's like so precious, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it's like really precious.
I know. Now there's a very interesting question here from our friend Gabriel. I'm gonna just put it up here. He says here, "Hi Rosh, while you are on that, what would one do when you see your friend is in a mood? You ask why, and she says nothing. But as you try to bring up the conversation, you only get a one-word response." It's like, "What's wrong, baby?" "No, I'm fine."
I think well, the only thing I can say, if a woman to be at that stage is that you've left you for too long, to ask her why she's in the mood. So you need to ask yourself the question: how long did you realize that she was in that mood before you asked her what's wrong? Because I can testify to that.
Yeah, that one.
The longer you leave it,
that one, Mr. Pikini, sounds familiar.
The longer you leave it, the more and it's almost like you propagate things in your mind now. You kind of like see things that are not there, and you kind of tell you things. It's almost like you curse the person under your breath even more. So all I would say is, like, in that situation, eventually you'll resolve it, because you will talk, because you're not going anywhere, isn't it? Like you said. And we've been in a situation as well. And it's always because of delayed response. It's like, instead of just tackling it when you needed to tackle it. That's why now if I see you're not getting anywhere, I'm like, I need to realize to find your bottom. I say, come on, let's go. We're going out for a drink. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will start to instigate it now, and then you'll say, like, we'll have I said, you need to talk about this now, because I am really upset with you. It's been like 2 days now. I'm really upset with you. I'm waiting for you to ask me the question.
But now the thing is, I'm also getting now annoyed, because she's the one that's instigating it, because I feel like, why didn't you wait for me to make the move? But she's been waiting for me to make the move. But that question of yours, Mr. Pikiti, that one is really, it's. I think it's like just what Rosh was saying. It's. I think when you leave it for too long,
it festers.
It just festers, and it's like, now she's just annoyed.
And then I think all you have to do in that case, I mean, from experience, like, I don't know, you've done this before.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's just say sorry. Just say, so how can I make it better? Do you want to talk about it? Because, but also it's a two-way thing. Remember, conflict is a two-way thing, and it involves two people. So if the other half does not want to budge, then just mind your language and mind what you.
But I think also what it is, when you ask, is something wrong, in her head she's thinking, why are you asking a stupid question?
You should know already.
You should know something is wrong. What you mean is something is wrong? I think you're asking the wrong question. Because she knows that you know something is wrong, but you come. I come and I'm asking, what is that what you ask? Guys, you see my friend in you ask why, and she says nothing. We you know already that something is wrong. She knows already that something is wrong. So I think it's just about, most probably just.
Well, you're gonna, if you're in that situation, Mr. Pikiti, you just have to go in there and make sure you don't give up. You need to find out what's wrong. You need to talk it out. You need to communicate. You need to find out what is the source of the problem, and you need to sort it out and figure it out, because otherwise it'll just fester and fester and fester and fester, and then there'll be more worse. Like, if you leave it for any longer. So I wish you all the
Yeah.
luck if you're in that situation again. Anybody
No,
for
don't
that
worry.
matter.
You're not the only one, my brother.
Yeah.
You're not the
We've
only
been there
one.
ourselves. Remember, honey?
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're not going anywhere, just kind of like, yeah,
Oh,
come, let's
yeah.
let's just or like the solution I put earlier.
Oh.
Or the solution I put. Did you get the solution earlier? As you said, let's just go upstairs. And we lay hands on each other, and then after that the conversation will flow maybe the conversation will flow a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you for your time. It's like 55 minutes,
yes,
right? 5 of which was delayed reaction from our side because of setting up and everything.
yeah.
But
yes, thank you so much, guys, for jumping on. I hope whatever we shared with you guys at least was helpful. And we did not waste your time.
Yeah, thank
But
you
we
for your time.
appreciate you guys jumping on, and yeah. So conflict is ever present.
Mhm.
It's not like you have to overcome conflict; just need to learn how to deal with it more effectively, I
Yeah.
would say.
And then what do you get out of it? Because the last point I made there, because one of the things we always ask when we go through this is like, Rosh, what did you learn? And I said, and I'll say, Ken, what did you learn? Because obviously it took time and effort. It took, to get through it. And I always want to come up with something from it, isn't it?
That's why.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes we go through it again and say, oh, this is like deja vu. I can remember the same experience like we've had previously, isn't it?
If you think about it, most of the fights are very similar.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's mainly misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Things that are not even, it's stuff that are not even worth fighting about.
Yeah.
And once you get through the other side, whichever route you choose to reconcile. Yeah. I like that one when you go upstairs. I know that one helps because sometimes it's hard to talk when your head is like all clogged up. But once you
My goodness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was great coming on here. It was great having the conversation with you. Let's do it again soon, next week. And anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'm just saying have a happy Sunday, and thank you so much for your time and for listening to us chat away. Much appreciated.
Awesome. Yes, sir. Please go and try that one, Mr. Bikiti. That one will work very well. All right, guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you all soon. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Have a great week.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.